Howard the Duck is the greatest movie of all time. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, isn't that one of, if not the worst movie of all time? Well, I guess it depends on your definition of bad movies. To me, a bad movie is poorly edited, terribly acted, and most of all, boring. Well, Howard is none of those. In fact, Howard is as perfect as a film as you can get. Plus, it's the most inspirational film, at least for me, that I've ever seen. To better understand where I'm coming from, though, let me take you back to the mid-'80s. I grew up watching a lot of duck cartoons on television. I hoped one day to grow up and be a duck cartoon star myself. But remember, this was also the decade of time-traveling DeLoreans, multiplying little monsters, and giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man walking down the streets of New York. Yeah, normalcy took a back seat to fun and entertainment. So when a little movie called Howard the Duck came out, I had to see it. And of course, I assumed what most people should have assumed was it was going to be nothing more than just a duck cartoon, just live action and in full length. Well, it was. For the first 5 minutes. But then, after an overload of duck puns, something very interesting happened. The movie actually started. Our main star was shot out of this crazy cartoon setup like a rocket and flown through space and time like 2001. He was then dropped into our feature. Right in the middle of an 80s music video. Yeah, complete with punks, rock stars, and motorcycles. After that awesomeness, we get to meet our supporting cast, rock singer and lead lady Beverly, and comic relief Philzy. We get to know them like good characterization goes, and then we have a bar fight. We then meet Dr. Jennings and actually get an explanation of how Howard got here. See, it was a routine procedure with a satellite signal in space when an unknown force redirected the laser and pulled Howard from his world to ours. This type of stuff is pretty common in sci-fi movies nowadays, but at the time, this was fascinating. Anyway, they tried to reverse it to send Howard home, but of course something went wrong and they took something else down instead. The Dark Overlord, which ends up possessing Jennings. This is my favorite part. While seated at a diner, the Dark Overlord tells Howard and Beverly his backstory, being exiled into a prison beyond the universe. It's a scary tale, reminding me a lot of Quint's shark story. And we don't even see what he looks like. It's left up to our imagination, building up to the inevitable reveal. Our scene here gets cut short by yet another bar fight. But this one includes a pyrotechnic show as the Overlord lets loose all of his powers.
If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
After that, it's a race to the lab between Howard and the Overlord, along with a police chase. We get to the lab and finally get our reveal, and the build-up surpassed anything I've ever seen before on screen. We then get yet another pyrotechnic show. And then before you know it, it ends as it began, with an 80s music video.
That's the best movie ever!
And I still think that to this very day. I mean, it's like nothing I've ever seen before or ever will. And let's be honest, what is the only real complaint somebody has about this movie? Is that it's a duck. Well look, if complainers want to see nothing more than just a dumb duck movie, then that's all they're ever gonna see. But me, I see action, adventure, comedy, sci-fi, horror, drama, every genre. It's got state-of-the-art effects, most of which still hold up, and the few that don't look nostalgic and fun. It's got a fantastic score, a fun soundtrack by Thomas Dolby, memorable characters that we actually care about, it's fun, it's enjoyable, and most importantly, it inspired me. This film told me not to just limit myself to a simple duck cartoon, but to do anything I want, to be big if I want, to be any genre that I want, to do whatever I want. That is why I feel this movie is the best movie of all time, and why Howard the Duck is my biggest inspiration.